Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today, yes, it's that time for that video. A video that we all knew was coming, but just because we knew it was coming doesn't make it any easier, as it's official now, ladies and gentlemen, that Big Shirley has left the building. Which you could probably tell by the overall demeanour that is, of course, going to be a sad one whenever you lose a player like a Calvin Bassey. Not even just on the park, but off the park. He had the combination that just made you want to root for him, and his work rate and his effort and his coachability as well. I'm pretty sure that laddie would have slid tackled his own grandma if Big Gio asked him and said she had a football, and that's what you want in your team, that kind of infectiousness that's just all go all of the time, no ego, we will just do what's best for the team, and that's what Big Shirley has done. And I'm kind of in this weird stage where I keep saying, Alexa, play Everybody Hurts, and then a couple minutes later, after that song's finished and I've had a wee greet, I end up saying to Alexa, play Shane McMahon's theme tune, because by God, that money though. Alexa, stop. Don't actually, we'll get copyrighted. Don't actually play it. Don't actually play it. Thank you. And listen, I know I've mentioned it in the last couple of videos, but I just can't mention it because I'm genuinely excited. I'm genuinely buzzing. We are rapidly closing in on the 55,000 subscriber dream that's always been on the channel. We never thought we'd get there, but we're getting closer and closer now. So if you are new to the channel, again, we're now at 56% regular viewers that's watching, so there was 1% of the regular viewers that hit the subscribe button in the video a couple days ago. So if you are watching today's video, if you want to help the channel out, please consider hitting that subscriber button and help us on our way towards 55 frickin' K. But aye, I know you didn't want to hear that part. I'm just excited, you know what I mean? I love hitting milestones in that ways, and aye, I'll get to Calvin Bassey now. But I think that's the balance that we're all going to have as Rangers fans watching and paying attention to this story. It will be a mixed bag, but before we actually go ahead and break down the deal, the record-breaking deal and the details within it, and give you all everything you need to know about the financial side and everything like that, I do want to take a wee split second, just a couple seconds, to talk about Calvin Bassey, because to me, as a Rangers fans, given what he gave us over the 2 years he was here, he deserves that before he moves on. Because Calvin Bassey ended up joining Rangers Football Club to little to no fanfare at all. I remember when I uploaded the video, a lot of people was like, who, and if you went online, that's all you really saw from another set of fan base, and it was interesting to see that. And even the fact that we went ahead and signed him as a 20-year-old who hadn't played a single professional match, there was people again frustrated that we weren't giving our own youth an opportunity in bringing him in. Sounds familiar a little bit, but again, it shows you when you bring in the right person to the team, they can really take off. And I think I speak for everyone who's clicking on today's video. The very first time you saw Calvin Bassey pull on the Rangers shirt and go out there and play a game, you sat back and went, alright, he's got something. And when he joined the football club again on a pre-contract that was a developmental fee, etc, etc, we all know it was pennies that we got the lad for, which again is beautiful, and we'll speak about that in more details. But in his first full season at the football club, he went ahead and played 15 games in all competitions, which was also his first season at the senior level, as more of a rotational role for Bassey. But I don't know about you, but the longer and the more he came on, the more interest and the more you went, alright, he's adding something every single time you see him. I mean, his first game versus Motherwell, we really saw what he was capable of in terms of a first start, but you could see it wasn't a finished article or anything. Like, he was still a bit rough around the edges, he was still a little bit impatient, he was still a little bit rash. And again, his biggest takeaway during that point of the seasons and everything like that was his output, his crossing wasn't as good as Bassey, who at that time was full of confidence, slicing and dicing. So there was things for the laddie to work on, and after 15 games in his first season, becoming an undefeated champion, he could have just put his feet up and been happy at his first season doing that, but he wasn't. He stuck at it, he kept working his arse off. We saw the stuff training pretty much all summer, working on his crossing, working on his final product, and then he came into the very next season not only wrestling for a starting spot, but he blew Bassey completely out the water. Almost for day one, we went, well, that's our starting left back. All the criticisms and everything was gone now. You could see the laddie was a driving force, and the best thing you can say about him is he was not only playing that and became the #1 left back, but there's a real argument to be made that last season he became our #1 centre back as well, which is absolutely crazy for a young man to be able to come into a team and play two different positions almost on a weekly basis. basis. This isn't he? Oh, he played left back for 6 months in the last 6 months. He played centre back. No, there was games where he'd play left back, get man of the match, then he'd go and play centre back in Europe, and then he'd be playing left back again in Scottish football. It was mental what we asked of him, but what's even more mental is he answered every single time. Again, I'm not saying he was perfect all season long, but when you look at the laddie's age and everything like that, what a season in his true first season in his entire career being a starter. Outstanding. And again, during that season, in which again that was his first season being a starter, he played 50 games in all competitions, grabbed 6 assists, and again he had some incredible moments, and he leaves the football club having played his last 2 games, a Europa League final in which he won man of the match, and in a Scottish Cup final in which he became the man of the match. What a way to leave the football club right at the top, and again he only got better as the season went on, especially the last 6 months, where if you took a poll, maybe splitting some of them with lunchroom, but if you took a poll out of 90% of Rangers fans, I think they would line up towards Big Bassey as being the guy in the latter half of the season, and that's a young laddie. But again, a few seconds ago we mentioned what a way to leave the football club, and Levy has, ladies and gentlemen, having made 65 appearances in total for Rangers, and he leaves being a undefeated league champion, he leaves being a Europa League finalist, and he leaves being a Scottish Cup winner, and also a fully fledged internationalist now as he made his way in to his Nigerian side. That right there, when you take a step back and you look at it, what a resume that is for his first 2 seasons at the top flight level, people. Honestly, he's done sensational. But again, football isn't just about the heart, people. It's also a business, and Rangers are starting to do business the way we've been wanting them to do business, especially over the last 7 months. I mean, if you look at it, and if you go back to when the both of them were at the football club, you had Nathan Patterson and Calvin Bassey. On paper, our 2 backup fullbacks, they've left the football club now for a combined fee of over 35 million frickin' pounds. That there is exactly the player model we were craving when we were releasing players, signing people for 2 months, firing them out the door and loaning them out until they ran their contract. It was mental the way the club was going, but if you look at it right now, we really are taking strides, and again, it is a business. We're starting to do some real business now, and a big thanks to that is Calvin Bassey, who of course joins Ajax for their 2nd most expensive transfer fee ever, people, as he goes ahead and joins them for a combined package of 27 million euros. That there is naughty. Now it's going to be 22 million euros up front with 5, that's right, 5, as Booker T would say, coming as a further add-on as well. Now that add-on could be based on appearances or anything like that. We don't know what that'll be, or it could be paid over a certain amount of time, as that's the way football actually goes these days. But there is a package there for 27 million euros on our way to Rangers, and again, it's not just that, which again is an eye-watering sort of figure. It is the fact that there's a 10% sell-on fee clause slapped in to the deal. Now, Ajax doesn't they sell-on fees. You've seen that online, you've seen it reported on everything. They very rarely give them out, so the fact that they were willing is sensational bit of business as well from Rangers, because there's not one person, no matter who you support or who you like or who you dislike or who your favourite player is, there's not one player watching today's video that doesn't think Shirley Bassey is going to go ahead there and become something in the football and won't get another move, because Ajax is a fantastic club, and he'll get a lot more eyes on him now for more of the traditionalists that's willing to take pops on players, and there's not a shred of me that thinks that lad will only be in the Premier League within 3 to 4 seasons, maybe even sooner than that. I mean, look at left back that Ajax has just sold right now to Man United. What did they go for? What, 43 million euros or something like that? Well, that's what's going to happen if Bassey is able to perform. There will be eyes on him, there will be chances to shine, and again, if he does do what I expect him to do and continue to develop and even play at the level he is right now, he will get that move. So that's a further money down the line, which makes this deal absolutely scrum-diddly-umptious, especially once again when you keep thinking he's only got 2 years left on his deal and he's only played 2 full seasons at the top level of football. That there is sensational. He came in the door for a development fee and we've slapped that amount, which is obviously our transfer record in terms of sales, but what it could mean down the line and that as well. This could break Scottish football's transfer record, and again, considering the fact he's only been here for 2 seasons and had 1 season as a full starter, It's absolutely bonkers. I mean, if you want to have an example of how bonkers this is, honestly, take a seat. I'm about to blow your frickin' mind. We just got a package of 27 million euros and a sell-on fee for a laddie who's played 4 more games in his entire career than Golden did just last season. It's crazy. And aye, the more I think about this deal and the more I put everything on the table, the more it is an incredible bit of business. Now, I know there's going to be some people that isn't disappointed it's no this figure or it's no this figure and that up front, but you need to put everything into context. They're willing and gambling on a lad who's had one season, as a starter at a football club. So I think we've done extremely well with this deal, and again, I'm fully expecting more money to come down the line on eventual, and I expect to see him in the Premier League in not too distant future, and I hope he does so well, not only in terms of a business point of view, because again, I want that moolah to come to the football club, but also I just want him to do well, because everything you could ask for from a fan to a player, go out there and give everything, tackle everything, just run yourself into the ground. Bassey done it every single time he pulled on the Rangers shirt, and he never settled for being good or being ploried. He kept chasing, he kept working, he kept trying to be better, he kept working on his output, and he ended up becoming, again, our number one left back and arguably our best centre back last season in terms of overall consistency. So I wish nothing but the best for Calvin Bassey. But before we do finish up today's video, there's obviously one elephant in the room to address. Where does that leave the football club now? Because everything I've talked about here, I'm not going to sit, because I'd sat here after the Rebo video and said if there was one person who could have moved on in the summer, it would have been Rebo. I wasn't thinking about that in terms of Calvin Bassey, because where Rebo can go to the team, and I think we can add something round it, or we've got players that can give us something like Rebo has. Calvin Bassey is absolutely sensational, and there's no way for me to talk round this or try to charm yous that losing a Calvin Bassey isn't a blow to our team when I'm currently recording today's video. For me, our team is significantly weaker without a Calvin Bassey. But again, it's important to take it in and remember the timing of this video. That's what people didn't get with league prediction videos and all that when they start clipping things and memeing things. It's based on what you see on that time with that squad. We've took Bassey out of our team now. We have one left back and we have one centre back that's able to play more than 30 games a season. Of course, we're going to be weaker, but where Bassey leaves the football club, which is obviously leaving a hole in the team, he also has filled it back in and slapped all that money back in the team to be able to spend and replace or try to add a couple more quality players. Again, maybe not get someone as good individually or as talented as him, but can we use that money that's now just been filtered into the team to pick up 1 or 2 or 3 quality signings to boost their team? Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, and I fully expect us to be very, very busy over the next couple of days, and I expect us to be very busy over the next couple of weeks filling that gap and adding more defensive reinforcements, because we definitely need it. And again, with Bass leaving, are we significantly weaker? Yes, but that is not as done in the transfer market. Hopefully the club spends it properly and gets the players in that we need if we want to go and be as successful as we want to be in the upcoming season. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's my thought on Calvin Bassey leaving. Again, sad, but business side of thing, you just can't ever turn that type of money down. That's us broke down the money. I've given you my thoughts and opinions on it. I think it's a fantastic deal when you take everything into consideration. And where does that leave us now that Calvin Bassey's left? I've discussed that as well. Weaker right now, but we've got more than enough funds to actually get us to not only where we were, but to try and boost us up, because there's a lot of money there to be spent and improve this squad. So that's me had Massey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now I hand the reins over to you. How are you feeling about Calvin Bassey leaving the football club? Where do you think it leaves us? Etc, etc. It'd be fantastic to know if I could hear your thoughts and opinions. And as always, I've been CJ Over 92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.